Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today Shloka number 20, chapter 14. Gunan etan atityatrin.
Gunan etan atityatrin.
Dehi deha samudbhavan.
Dehi deha samudbhavan.
Janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi.
Janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi.
Vimuktom mritamashnute.
Vimuktam mritamashnute.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gunan,
Gunan,
qualities.
qualities.
Etan,
Etan,
all these. Atitya,
Atitya,
transcending.
transcending.
Treen,
Three,
three.
Dehi,
The embodied.
embodied.
Deha,
Deha,
the body. Samudbhavan,
Samudbhavan,
produced of.
produced of.
Janma, of birth. Mrityu, death. Jara, and old age. Dukkhaihi, the distresses. Vimuktaha, being freed from. Amritam, nectar. Ashnute, he enjoys. Translation: when the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. So the Lord is talking about how you can actually achieve moksha even while you're alive here in this material world. So Prabhupada is explaining how one can stay in the transcendental position even in this body in full Krishna consciousness is explained in this verse. The Sanskrit word dehi means embodied. Although one is within this material body, by his advancement in spiritual knowledge, he can be free from the influence of the modes of nature. So how? Transcending the modes of nature exist only in the material world. They don't exist in the spiritual world. So that means transcending the three modes, that must happen in the material world itself. That there is an opportunity to get to that place. He can enjoy the happiness of spiritual life even in this body, because after leaving this body, he's certainly going to the spiritual sky. Which means if you're practicing Krishna consciousness, you know for a certainty that you're going back to Krishna, then what is there to be unhappy about in this life? You can be blissful in this life, knowing fully well that if you have faith in Krishna, and if you have faith in Krishna's instructions and Guru's instructions, and if you're following them, then you will reach the spiritual sky. So there's nothing that you should lament about. You should be in spiritual bliss even before you enter the spiritual world. But even in this body, he can enjoy spiritual happiness. In other words, devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the sign of liberation from material entanglement. And this will be explained in the 18th chapter. There are many meanings to the word liberation. If you're liberated from your material desires, that itself means you are already on the spiritual path. When one is freed from the influence of the modes of material nature, he enters into devotional service. So the Lord himself is saying that those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they have already transcended the three gunas. Yes, there may be a little bit experiences here and there where we come under the influence of the gunas. But if you are chanting 16 rounds every day and strictly following the 4 regulative principles that Srila Prabhupada has laid out for all of us, then you can understand that you're already on the spiritual path. So from another parampara, if we drink water from a dirty well, we are bound to get an upset stomach. Similarly, if we are influenced by the 3 modes, we are bound to experience their consequences, which are repeated birth within the material realm, disease, old age, and death. These 4 are the primary miseries of material life. But see, we think the misery is if I don't have a fancy car or a fancy house or fancy clothes or fancy degrees. We think that is miserable. The real truth is, the only thing that is common to all of us is that we are all experiencing this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. It was by seeing these that the Buddha first realized that the world is a place of misery and then searched for the way out of misery. The Vedas prescribe a number of codes of conduct, social duties, rituals, and regulations for human beings. These prescribed duties and codes of conduct are together called karma dharma or varnashrama dharma or sharirik dharma. They help elevate us from tamoguna and rajoguna to sattvaguna, which means even if you just follow the Vedic scriptures, it should ultimately get you to sattvagun. However, to reach sattvagun is not enough. It is also a form of bondage. The modes of goodness can be equated to being fettered with chains of gold, which means what does it matter? You are in jail, whether you are chained in this jail with gold chains or silver chains or platinum chains. It doesn't matter. You're still in jail. Our goal lies even beyond it, to get out of the prison house of material existence. Sri Krishna explains that when we transcend the 3 modes, transcend means to overcome and go above and beyond these 3 gunas, then Maya no longer binds the living being, which means your days of illusion are over because you have understood the truth. The truth is that you have been experiencing this cycle of birth and death for many, many lifetimes. And you have decided this is not something that I want to go through again. Thus, the soul gets released from the cycle of life and death and attains immortality. Factually, the soul is always immortal. However, its identification with the material body makes it suffer the illusion of birth and death. This illusory experience is against the eternal nature of the soul, which seeks release from it. The soul wants to exit this jail. Remember, we said the jail cell is this body that we are occupying. The soul simply wants to exit it and go to its eternal spiritual home. But unfortunately, because the Jivatmas have so many desires and so many hankerings, unfortunately, the soul is given one more body and another body and another body like this. This illusory experience is against the eternal nature of the soul, which seeks release from it. Hence, the material illusion is naturally discomforting to our inner being, and from within, we all seek the taste of immortality. So ultimately, the soul is looking to regain its original status as Satchidananda. As long as it is within a physical body, it cannot experience that Satchidananda. However, in this shloka, the Lord is clearly saying, even if the soul is trapped in this physical body, by practicing Krishna consciousness, one can experience that nectarian bliss that is otherwise restricted to the spiritual world. So that's the beauty of practicing Krishna consciousness. You can experience bliss even in this life. Yes, you're also growing old. We are also getting diseases. But your consciousness is just fully satisfied that it is connected to Krishna. When your consciousness has reached that stage where you recognize that this is it for you, there's nothing else that you want in your life, you only want Krishna, then you can understand you have arrived on that spiritual platform. You should be experiencing bliss when you recognize that the only thing that you want in your life is Krishna and nothing else. And the opportunity to serve Him. And how do you serve Him? By serving the deities in the temple and by serving the other Vaishnavas, we have an opportunity to please Krishna.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.